Hello and welcome back to another video, guys. Now that's right, today we are back for another ranking, and I haven't done one of these in a while, and I always like doing rankings because it gives me a little bit of an opportunity to talk about a diverse sense of movies, especially when it comes to a director and not a franchise, because here we get to talk about a range of different movies. Today we are talking about the wonderful Mr. Bong Joon Ho, who is a director that I discovered, like a lot of people, when the movie Parasite blew up in 2019. Not only was it so well received, but then when it won Best Picture, I think everyone went on the Bong Joon Ho hype, including myself. This set come out, which I've unboxed on the channel. This is a beautiful set, which includes everything from Barking Dogs all the way through to Parasite, the black and white edition, other than Okja, because Okja is exclusive to Netflix, but this has all of his other work in. Barking Dogs Never Bite, Memories of Murder, The Host, Mother, Snowpiercer, and both versions of Parasite. So, I've watched them all now. I've done it. I've watched them all. And some of you might already know my ranking from Letterboxd. I have indeed ranked his films on Letterboxd. It's a good way for me to keep up to date with how I feel about films and stuff, because, you know, when you watch as many films as me, you do tend to forget a couple, so Letterboxd is fantastic like that. In fact, I have a video in the works going over my Letterboxd account. But anyway, today, I decided I'm going to make a video, I'm going to record me talking about why I put these films in the order I did, why I ranked them. So, we have, as I say, the films I just read out, plus Okja. So, coming in at number 7, my 7th favourite Bong Joon Ho film is, let me scoot over so we can get a good look at the poster, Barking Dogs Never Bite, his first movie. And this tells a really interesting story which really does like to throw you about a bit with the characters. Now, something I did admire about this film is that I'm a dog lover. Most people are dog lovers, but this film, when it needed to be brutal, it was. And I kind of admire that about the movie. I think this one here just... It's his first film, so you do want to give the man a bit of credit. You know, you look at all these fantastic directors. Their first movies, you know, you almost do have to give them a bit of leeway. You know, it's their first time coming out doing these big, epic films. So Barking Dog Never Bites, it has a really good narrative to it, a really interesting story. I think the characters are good. I just think there's a couple little pacing issues. You know, it could have been trimmed down a little bit. But to be honest, this film is still absolutely fantastic. It really engaged me. I was really interested to see where it was going. There were a few little unexpected twists and turns throughout the movie, which really did help keep me engaged. I was like, yeah, I wanted to see where this goes. So Barking Dogs Never Bite is definitely still a really good time. It's one that I do plan on revisiting because I'm going to give this film a very good score. I liked it a lot, but I'd almost like it to be higher. Because I really did enjoy certain aspects of this film. So I just think it let me down in the pacing a bit. The film, it's one of those films that just could have been trimmed down a little bit, I think. But, you know, everything is still excellent about this movie. Some of the cinematography is really nice. I actually quite like the score to it. Barking Dog Never Bites, while it's my least favourite, I'm still going to give this movie an 8 out of 10. Really, really did enjoy the movie still. Next up, this might be a bit controversial here, because I think this actually comes in most people's top 3 or 4 Bong Joon Ho films. But anyway, I'm putting it in at number 6, and that is Mother. That's right, not the Jennifer Lawrence Mother. Every time I mention Mother, people go, the Jennifer Lawrence one? I'm like, no. First up, I gotta give props to the acting in this one. The acting is incredible. I'm not sure on the name of the lead actress who plays Mother, but she is absolutely phenomenal. Some of the shots in this film are incredible. I love the opening scene of her just sort of dancing. It was just so captivating and weird. I was like, this is strangely awesome. I really loved how the film opened. It was also so tense. There were just scenes where, like, she was cutting up. I can't remember what it was she was cutting up now, but she had a big chopper. She was getting closer to her hands, and just simple things like that because of the way it was filmed and shot and the tension there. I was just like, oh. So the film, from a filmmaking standpoint, is technically brilliant here, I think. In fact, it really is top 3 in terms of quality. But, you know, I just found the other films that we're going to talk about a bit more interesting. You know, it still had a very fascinating plot, this film. You really do feel for the characters at time. And yeah, I really don't have enough good things to say about this film. It's still incredibly gripping, I think. Yeah, Mother, I almost feel like I've done it a bit dirty putting it this low, but I'm looking at the other films on the list, and I genuinely just found the other films a bit more interesting. But, you know, this film is still incredible. It's so well made. Again, everything from a technical aspect, like the score is incredible. The cinematography is beautiful in this movie. Absolutely beautiful. Mother is a stunning film. I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. Then we go on to my number 5 favourite, and, you know, I think this one does tend to be in the bottom 2 for most people, but I've put it here because, you know, you guys know, I'm a big kaiju fan. I like my big monsters. I like my Godzilla. I like my Gamera. I like all that stuff. So the next one up is The Host, which I didn't know what this was, because, to be honest, this box doesn't give anything away, like, poster-wise or nothing. So I was like, The Host, I've got no idea what this is about. Didn't look into the film at all. Like, just pop the disc in it and let it play. And to my surprise, when a giant monster showed up, and I went from being like, yeah, I'm going to just enjoy this film. All of a sudden, big monster, I'm like, oh, we like big monsters. You know, the CGI on the monster was a bit rocky, but, you know, Bong Joon Ho wasn't like this hugely established director at this point. This is still one of his earlier projects. The acting was a little bit ropey at times, but hey, it's still a fantastic film, I think. Absolutely fantastic. The tension was there. Some of the shots, like when the first time you see the monster, it just goes across this field and it's just doing whatever it wants, was absolutely incredible, I thought. I was so gripped from start to finish. There was some really surprising deaths in it. There were a couple that actually really got my heart going a bit, like with the dad and stuff, and I was like, oh no. I thought it was interesting how, like, the girls survived and stuff, the way they went with the plot there, and it became like a rescue type film. I thought that was really interesting. And yeah, the film had a lot going for it, and I just found this film really interesting. As I say, I think Mother is technically a better film, but I put this one just a bit above it because enjoyment-wise, there was just more there for me. And rewatchability, this is one I'm going to rewatch a lot because I like my big monsters and stuff. So this film has a little bit of a edge going for it anyway on my ranking. I'm going to give The Host an 8.5 out of 10 as well. Really, really good film. Next up, we have Okja, the Netflix movie. So this was the last one I watched with my Bong Joon Ho set. Because I'd already seen Parasite, I decided to work backwards. I watched Parasite. I watched Snowpiercer, and then Mother. You know, I went backwards, and then once I'd done the whole set, I then went on to Netflix to watch Okja. So this was the last one I watched. I only watched it last week for the first time. It's very fresh in my head. And it's funny, I spoke to Ryan, my podcast co-host, about this movie, because he's also seen this one. And I said, you know what, this is the closest I've come to saying, I think I'm going to try and be a vegetarian or a vegan. And he said the exact same thing. He's like, yeah, I was considering it because the end of this film is brutal. It's heartbreaking and it really makes you think. There's some really important messages in this movie. And it's heartbreaking. It really is. It's a very difficult film to get through at times. But yet this film has so much going for it in terms of like the family, the pet aspects, the you know, how emotionally attached you are to this girl's connection to her pet pig, weird mutated pig thing, whatever it is. But then you've got the intensity of the movie with some of the action sequences, which was incredible. And the actors in it, wow, incredible. The young actress, first off, fantastic. I forget the name of the guy, the one who was like the head of this little group that was sort of helping her. He's a bit of a strange guy. I think he's in Prisoners, and if I'm correct, he's going to be playing the Riddler. I think that's the actor. Not sure on his name, but he was fantastic in this movie. Stephen Yeun was in this as well. I love Stephen Yeun. Giancarlo Esposito, of course, was also in this. Tilda Swinton was great. There's just so many fantastic actors that pop up in this movie. I'm pretty sure I've missed a couple there. Because there really are a lot of great actors in this movie, and they're all given 110%. It's brilliant. The CGI on the pig is fantastic. You can tell It's got a bit of a Netflix budget here, this one. Yeah, it really was just a really, really good watch. I don't really have many bad things to say about this one. I was nearly in tears at the end. It's a beautiful, beautiful movie. I'm going to give this film a 9 out of 10. Then, a little bit controversial, I think, because this is normally in people's top 2. This is a very popular one. Just missed out on my top 2. Memories of Murder, which has also just been added to Netflix, like last week, I think. So, if you haven't seen this one's on Netflix. This is one of the best murder mystery films I've ever seen. Why? Because you really have that dirty kind of good cop, bad cop feeling going on. And because it's, you know, not an American produced movie, it just feels different to all the others. And it almost feels more realistic, I think. I want to say as well that the murder scenes, because there's one where a woman's just walking at night, I think it's in the rain or something, and she can hear someone in a bush, and the guy ends up jumping her. That was so well shot. I was scared for her, and when the guy, it is just a guy, when he just jumps out the bush, I was terrified. And it's all down to the way the film is shot, and it's so well done. I think this film is, on a technical level, brilliant. The cinematography, again, is incredible. There are some shots near the start where they're out in the field, where they find the body, and it is so well shot. It's incredible. The music, the score was out of this world. It was brilliant. And again, all the actors just putting in such a good job. And I felt very satisfied with the ending. Because with murder films, I find you either do end up really satisfied and, like, gonna just use some newer big films as example here, like Knives Out, where I felt very satisfied with the ending of this movie, or you get things like Murder on the Orient Express, where it felt just like a huge letdown, and you know, we all sort of knew how that film was going to end anyway, but it just felt so unearned. And whereas this film, the complete opposite, definitely more on the Knives Out side, where it's like, yeah, I was very satisfied with how this film wrapped up. Really, really fantastic. Memories of Murder can have a 9 out of 10. Brilliant, brilliant movie. Then, of course, number 2. What we got left? We got Snowpiercer and Parasite. Well, coming in at number 2 is Snowpiercer. I'd heard of this film before Parasite, to be fair. So I think some people might have been aware of Bong Joon Ho. Or people definitely were aware of him. Obviously, there were some people aware of him. But I think, you know, there were quite a large amount of people who were aware of him before Parasite. I knew this film existed, but I don't know. I never really looked into it before Snowpiercer. It wasn't until, obviously, I got this beautiful set here that I went, oh, Snowpiercer, that's Bong Joon Ho. I did not know that. So, yeah, this is the only film of his where, like, it's fully English. Okja, you know, it's kind of 50-50. This one here, full English, you know, you've got mostly an American cast in this one. Led by Mr. Captain America himself, Chris Evans. And I've actually, when I watched this film, one of the few things people were complaining about was Chris Evans. I was saying they didn't think he was a great fit for the lead. I strongly disagree. I thought he was fantastic in this movie, and he's really growing on me as an actor after watching things like this and Knives Out. I mentioned that film again. I'm so excited to see where his career is going to go from here now that he's not stuck in the Marvel blender. Don't get me wrong, I love Marvel, but it's going to be exciting to see where his career goes now, because he is a fantastic actor. I'm so excited to see what he does next, because he's great in this movie. There's a lot of other great people. Tilda Swinton knocks it out of the park in this movie. She's absolutely incredible. The late, great John Hurt as well. I love that man. So good to see him in a movie like this. The concept of this film is brilliant. I love the concept of it. I also love the weird online theories that this is a prequel to Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Well, not prequel, sequel, sorry, isn't it? I don't know, but I love it. But anyway, yeah, I love the idea of this movie. I think it's brilliant. And there are so many bits in it where I was like, damn, that is so clever. Like, there's the bit where, you know, they turn all the lights out and they got the night vision. And I was like, oh, well, how the hell are they going to get out of this? And they come in with torches, and I was like, that is cool. And there's the bit where they're having dinner. They get to the really nice little restaurant bit. Tilda Swinton's about to order something, and he just gives her a bit of that horrible, manky food. And I was like, oh, that's class. So there's a lot of really cool bits like that. Again, felt very satisfied with the ending. The film is so well shot. Yeah, there are a couple ropey moments with the CG, but, you know, hey, it is what it is. I just really, really loved this movie. I thought it was so well done. I've rewatched this one once already, so I've seen this film twice. I had the urge to do it. I know there's a TV series. I might even watch a TV series at some point, because this film really captivated me. And while I don't think it's as technically good as Memories of Murder, I just think that the idea of this film and the uniqueness is something I just loved. Snowpiercer can have a 9.5 out of 10. The film was nearly flawless for me. I adored it. But now we're going to get on to talk about my number one, which I think is most people's number one. But as I say, Bong Joon Ho, it's so rare I give out scores that are 9s or above. And half these films, you know, all these films are getting incredible scores from me. I think Bong Joon Ho is seriously one of my favourite directors ever now. Definitely top 3. Absolutely phenomenal, man. Parasite. This is the one that opened me up to him. Opened up a lot of other people, I think. Won Best Picture, rightfully so. I didn't think it would win Best Picture. I'm not going to lie. I thought 1917 had it in the bag in 2019. But, so happy he got it. He really, really deserved it. He did, and, you know, at the award ceremonies, I've got to say, he seemed like the kindest guy ever. He seemed absolutely lovely and in his element. But Parasite was fantastic. I remember watching it and just being blown away by the entire thing. The story was so good. The script was so tight. The actors were so good in this movie. Apologies about background noise. Someone's making a loud noise. It was just so well done. The score was beautiful. The cinematography was incredible. The location, this house they picked to film in, suited the film so well. I love the open ending. Love that kind of stuff. I loved everything about this movie. It was fantastic. It was out of this world brilliant. I've watched this film 3 times now. I have it in my box set. I also own it on Criterion because, I love the Criterion collection, and this is such a good movie. I just had to own this. Look at how cool this is. It comes out and everything, die cut. Whew, we love it. It's such a fantastic movie. I haven't actually watched the black and white edition yet, which is in the set, so that's something I really do plan on doing soon. I love this movie. It's an incredible movie. 9.5 out of 10. It's damn near perfection. And there we go. There is my Bong Joon Ho movie ranking. Now, I think there's something else out there on him. Tokyo something. I don't know whether it's a movie, a documentary. I'm not really too sure. I don't think it is a movie because I never see it on any movie rankings for him or anyone's Letterboxd. So I'm not entirely sure what that one's about. But I am planning on checking that out soon. But there's all of his main feature films ranked from my least favourite to my favourite. But my least favourite, Barking Dogs Never Bite, I still think is an excellent movie. He's a really hard director to rank his films on, to be honest, because while you have things like Mother and Memories of Murder, which I think are up there with Parasite being technically incredible in terms of filmmaking, things like The Host, Okja, and Snowpiercer are so unique that they deserve every bit of praise that the other ones do. He's an incredible filmmaker, incredible guy. I'm buzzing to see what he does next. I'm going to be there opening weekend now for every single movie he makes. The man's got me, and I'm there till the end to see whatever film he puts out now. Absolutely incredible filmmaker. If you haven't checked out any of those films, guys, do it. Watch them all. They're all fantastic. It's not like when you get a great director and they have like 10 films, but you always have like 1 or 2 that are a bit like, that one's just all right. All of them are really, really solid. So yeah, if you haven't checked out Bong Joon Ho, do it. But anyway, there we go. That is it for this video, guys. I hope you have enjoyed it as always. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like the video, leave a message. And don't forget as well, we have a Facebook group now for the Movie Bug page. So if you want to get in and talk to other people who love films like you and who for some reason like my channel, make sure you click the link in the description and go to the Movie Bug Facebook page. But yeah, anyway, thank you so much for watching as always, guys, and I'll see you next time for another video. Bye bye. you.